Starting!
Welcome to Written in the Sky. So this was one of those short ass VNs, visual novel of the sort, in which I did record this back in 2016, but unfortunately I can't really find the file. And I checked like every thumb drive that was at home, and well, let's just say I apparently lost the recording. But there was no regret because one, the game is really short, and two, the game was taken off the Steam store, even though it was free. I wouldn't say it's a bad game of the sort, but I guess what it's short, and plus the story is just generic as shit because spoilers, two girls fall in love with each other all because the main girl was found some ancient item of the sort that's supposed to belong to someone from an alternate planet. Someone from outer space or some shit. Oh yeah, there's no data, and the settings are just too simple. So in most cases, we're just gonna start. This game contains sex scenes, which you can choose to enable or disable right now. Enable 18 plus content, yes, because I would censor it anyway. 10 minutes, just 10 more minutes. I eyed the clock anxiously, awaiting the moment every student in the classroom yearned for. I don't know why, the music is just so loud as shit. There we go. Hopefully you can still hear me while at it. Just another 10 minutes and I'll be free of this prison, aka school. A handful of other students followed my example, watching every second tick by as we awaited the end of another school day. Time seemed to slow down the closer we got. Our teacher's voice became more tired and drawn out, and every moment became agony until at last. Alright, class, that's it for today. Proving to be as unmotivated as the rest of us, our teacher concluded lesson with time to spare. Early mark, heck yeah. Doesn't it feel relatable back in like several years ago? School can be a pain in the ass. Please take down whatever notes you need for the... No words. God, this teacher had unmotivated as shit. Why do you even have this fucking job anyway? Azira, what are you doing? Before the teacher could finish speaking, I had stuffed my belongings into my school bag and jumped up from my seat. Oh, sorry. Goodbye, Sensei. That was rude of me. How could I leave the classroom without saying goodbye to our teacher? Azir, that's not what I... Before Sensei could lecture me, I dashed out of the classroom with the kind of grace and elegance one would expect from an 18-year-old high school girl. Really now, trying to chain me to that boring classroom, what kind of life is that? Life is for the living. I'll study when I'm dead. I skipped gleefully down the hallway, ignoring Sensei's aggravated shouts and heading straight for the front entrance. Watch your steps. Yeah, who the fuck cares? As disheartening as it may sound, this is pretty much a normal day at school for me. Pay as little attention as possible, sneak out of class at every opportunity, then leave the second our teacher puts his chalk down. For someone serious about their studies, such a lifestyle would seem blasphemous. Conversely, anybody interested in club activities or spending time with their friends would consider it a waste. But not me. My only regret is that I can't leave class any sooner, or not attend to begin with. Because the truth is, I can't stand this place. I know, right? Interesting background sort. Oh, I can't even, like, do something with the image. Ah, what a day. I was asleep in class more often than I was awake, and I'm pretty sure I didn't learn a thing. Papa would be pissed if he knew. After returning home from school, I buried my head in my pillow, immediately reflecting on my actions. Though I had no problem leaving class early or skipping class, my father was another matter altogether. I shuddered at the thought of what my father might do if the school rang him. Having an ace detective for a father isn't as much fun as everyone thinks. He has an innate ability to sense when I'm hiding something from him, and his interrogations are never by the book. I'm no expert in legal studies, but I'm pretty sure tickling me into submission is a violation of the Geneva Convention. Oh boy, it's one of those stupid rules. As I sighed deeply over my own fate, I glanced around the room for some way to kill the time before my father returned. Unfortunately, unlike most girls my age, I don't have any interest in fashion, or TV dramas, or boys, or anything considered girly. TV dramas? Like what? K-drama? Korean drama of the sort? Worse, as easy as life would be if I were a tomboy, I have no interest in sports or in video games. Really? You don't even have. Video games are more common for a fucking hobby, though. uh, what? What the fuck is she interested in? The only recreational activity I ever indulge in is the detective training my father has mandated since I was a little girl. Huh, the little mystery stuff. Really, Papa, this is all your fault. What kind of father teaches his only daughter about useless junk like that? I don't know. Maybe you'll get your job as one of those forensic team of the sort. Even if I did want to be a detective, you could have at least waited until I was out of diapers. Okay, that's too much info. If only Mama was still here to keep him in line. My mother left us when I was still a toddler, shot by someone with a grudge against my father. Her parents, my grandparents, offered to take me in, but my father stubbornly refused, insisting that he would take care of me. Unfortunately, his fatherly duty ended there. Always occupied by work, he left me at home alone on a daily basis, leaving me to more or less fend for myself. More like her case of independence. The only time we ever spent together was his mandatory detective training, or when I got in trouble at school. Needless to say, the latter became a habit. It's not that I have a problem with learning. If the subject is interesting, then I'm happy to pay full attention. But every day it's just the same boring, useless junk. Really, the way things are going, I'd be better off. No words. I shook my head as negative thoughts began to cloud my mind. Living such an uneventful life, I often found myself thinking things I shouldn't. I contemplated leaving home, quitting school, or just doing something terrible so Papa would have no choice but to watch over me. I mean, that's one way to get his attention. Even though I knew such thoughts were bad, with a life as meaningless as mine, I had no reason not to think that way. After all, what is the point in living a life without meaning? An early mark from school, and how do I use it? I really need some excitement in my life. I don't know, go out and touch some grass. As darkness began to fall over the city, a solitary figure stalked the night. They walked up and down the street looking for an artifact long forgotten. A valuable artifact of enormous value, exceeded only by its power. But no matter how long they searched, the artifact eluded them. Not here either. I know it's around here somewhere. Many years had been spent tracking the valuable item down, but only now was the search reaching its conclusion. After so many hunters reached their demise seeking the relic, only its true owner, the one person unable to use it, had proven capable. After so many years of searching, praying that nobody would beat me to it, I shall once again take possession of that which is rightfully mine. Tonight I shall take to the stars once more, says the unknown girl. As another day drearily passed me by, I found myself pacing around the house, waiting for my father's imminent return. I wasn't in a hurry to see him, in fact impossible. I hoped to spend the night without facing his incessant questioning. But a part of me craved the interaction. Any FaceTime my father might offer, and I knew I'd have to face the music sooner or later. Jeez, I've been through this countless times, but facing Papa still makes me nervous. I guess there's a reason he's so good at his job. Playing nice cop won't always cut it. As I mulled those carefree thoughts, I could hear the sound of a key unlocking the front door. Welcome back, Papa. Her dad has no words. Faced with my enthusiastic greeting, my father only stared at me silently. He placed his coat and suitcase on the kitchen table, loosened his tie, and let out a weary sigh. Hard day at work? When is it not? My father turned to face me. His voice sounded relaxed, but knowing my father, it was merely the calm before the storm. Of course, it would be easier if I didn't keep fielding phone calls from your school. Honestly, you snuck out of class again? What if I told you about disrespecting your teachers, huh? In a split second, he jumped from a relaxed tone to interrogator mode. Hey, it's not like that. Oh, then what was it like? Class was already over. The bell was just about to ring. Yeah, well, you can just go to your room and think about what you've done. Papa, now. That's a bit of a stupid way of punishment. Without putting up a fight, I headed straight to my room and slumped down on my bed. I had no desire to further enrage my father, and I knew that the longer we spoke, the more information he would extract from me. So if my sentence was to be a night cooped up in my room, then I consider it a light punishment. Hey, it's better than being restricted from doing any hobbies. Not that it really matters. I already ate dinner before Papa came home, and I have nothing interesting to do anyway. Whether I'm in my bedroom, the living room, or the kitchen, doesn't change the fact that I'm bored out of my mind. The only upside to being sent to my room is I know how to sneak out. Having escaped from my room, I quickly left earshot of my house. I headed down the street, going in the opposite direction of my school, and aimlessly strolled through the night. Much better. I, I don't know how you were able to sneak out of the house at the second floor. I mean, then again, not everyone is agile, so. I hate being cooped up in that house almost as much as I hate being stuck at school. Yeah, but being at home is better than being at a fucking school anyway. And then again, you have no other hobby than just some repetitive stuff. It's different if I have something to pass the time, like a good book to read or a new crime documentary to watch. But the other 99% of the time, sleep is the only thing I look forward to. While silently complaining to myself, I lost track of how far and for how long I had been walking. God, that's the thing about this. Like, you have a normal main girl that has little to no hobbies, enjoys sleeping and being sneaky. That's about it. That's the only thing you can look forward to. While silently complaining to myself, I lost track of how far and for how long I've been walking. I crossed countless roads, all unfamiliar to me, and wound up in a part of town I had never visited before. Oh no, this can't be happening. I got lost in my thoughts and forgot to watch where I was going. Worse, I didn't bring my mobile phone, so I can't call Papa for help. Oh, great. Helpless. Actually, that part might be for the best. If I rang Papa now, I'd not only be scolded for leaving class early, but also for sneaking out of the house, and worst of all, for getting lost. Because according to Papa, a good detective is always mindful of their surroundings, so getting lost is... that's it. As the training my father put me through bubbled to the surface, I combed through my short-term memory, mapping out a path back home. I worked backwards, through every intersection, every park, every vacant lot along the way. I never thought that extensive resume my father put me through would ever come in handy. I thought it was all just useless information, completely bereft of any practical application. But now, in my hour of need, I wish I'd paid more attention. I tried my best to recall the path I took, but as I was deep in thought at that time, I hadn't paid attention in the slightest. This is bad. I'm just getting myself more and more lost. I've probably crossed over into another city by now. If I don't find the payphone or someone to ask for directions, then. Well, looky here. You have now found a stranger that can save you. Just as I began to feel desperate, a shadowy figure emerged before me. I couldn't see their face due to the darkness and how far away they were, but nonetheless, I had found someone. Finally, I'm saved. Hey! And she's like, what? As soon as I called out, the shadowy figure ran in the opposite direction. Oh, no, you don't. I chased after the mysterious person, paying no heed to the circumstances surrounding us. Even if I seemed dangerous, shouting out to a complete stranger in the middle of the night, I truly needed their help. I don't care if they think I'm a rapist or an axe murderer or whatever. The sun will start to come up soon. I need to find my way home ASAP. When chasing after the figure didn't work, I decided to take a more stealthy approach. Using my father's detective training once again, I stalked my target, keeping my distance and waiting in the shadows. What the hell? There is something wrong with this sort of. Oh wait, the main girl is stalking a stranger, even though it's supposed to be a complete opposite. Waiting in the shadows, and surely enough, after not catching a glimpse of me for a while, the figure let their guard down. Phew, that was close. My target breathed a sigh of relief, but moments later they appeared to be overcome by wonder. Wait a second, this is. They moved towards the platform in the middle of the warehouse we had wandered into. Through conspicuous and obviously suspicious, the platform had a certain allure, like it was holding a sacred treasure. It is! I finally found it! I need to call HQ immediately. Without wasting a moment, the figure ran outside, either excited or desperate after their interesting find. No words. I guess it's a little bit of a loading sequence. Now this is quite the bind. I know I should chase after them. I should find my way home before father realizes I'm missing, but despite knowing better, I walked straight up to the platform. Sitting on the platform was a box, a small square black box with strange characters all over it. Whoa, what language is this? It looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Yes, this is the VN that I'm reading, you guys. A generic one of those sci-fi lesbian short VNs. You're about to find out why. Because I already read it through anyway, and I lost the recording, so I picked up the box in one hand, then opened it with the other. I mean, it's better for me to re-record it anyway, because I think I recorded it like several years ago, and I sounded nerdy as shit. So maybe it is for the best. I mean, then again, anyone can sound nerdy. So I picked up the box in one hand and opened it with the other, and inside I found a ring. Oh hey, an interesting ring. More like it looks like a wedding ring of the sort. Inside was a ring engraved with characters similar to those on the box itself. A gold ring, big enough to fit on the finger of a full grown man, yet slim and smooth enough that a woman might wear it. Huh, that's kind of a letdown. The ring is obviously too big for me, and even if it wasn't, I'm not really into jewelry. Hmm. Then again, it would be a waste not to try it on. Despite the obvious difference in size between my finger and the ring, I slipped it into my left ring finger. Azure-chan gets to be a bride after all. Oh boy, that what you quoted there is a bit of some foreshadowing. I wonder if Papa will buy me a wedding present. As those carefree thoughts floated through my mind, I remembered something important. Oh, so you can't scroll up. Though it was kind of a bit clunky of the sort. As those carefree thoughts flowed through my mind, I remembered something important. Uh-oh. Papa. I completely forgot about finding my way back home. Finally setting my priorities straight, I began to pull the ring off my finger. As much fun as this has been, I really need to get home already. However, as soon as I touched the ring with my other hand, oh shit. Eh? What the heck? It alerted her. Uh-oh. Huh. Huh. This is bad. This is really, really bad. I only wanted to try the ring on, but now I'm a thief. I looked down at my ring finger and the glowing ring adorning it. And how is it that the ring now fits me perfectly? I don't remember having such chubby fingers. That light, too. Why did the ring flash like that? I'm so confused. Despite my complicated feelings and muddled thoughts, I kept running. This has to be a dream. Nothing this bizarre could happen in real life. When I wake up tomorrow morning, everything will be back to normal. Oh, I wouldn't say things like that. Left alone in a warehouse devoid of human life, a single being strolled through the darkness, tracing their fingers along a box wrapped in alien writings. They breathed a sigh of both relief and frustration. To think that a human would lay their hands on a ring before I did, and a young girl at that. I was so close, and yet. The being suddenly clenched their fist and smashed the alien box to pieces. All of that time and effort, all of those lives lost. I can't afford to let that ring fall into the wrong hands now. If that human girl refuses to hand over the ring, then I will have to take care of her personally. As in, she's going to kill her. Alright, I will be right back because I need to get some water. And I'm back. So we're 22 minutes in. I feel like I'm almost halfway done with this read through. Anyway, let's continue reading. It usually takes around 50 to 60 minutes to finish it, so. After a long night patrolling the city, and an even longer morning trying to find my way back home, I finally took refuge in the warmth of my own bed. I slipped off my shoes, removed my glasses, let my hair down, and finally. No words. You've got to be kidding me. Granted a reprieve from the monotony of my usual daily life, I dragged my heels even more than usual as I walked to school. Lethargy is by no means a feeling I rarely exhibit. In fact, not a day goes by where I don't feel that way while walking to school. But on this morning, the source of my dismay was anything but normal. A weird ring on my finger which randomly starts glowing. My father getting angry at me for leaving class early. A night with zero sleep after wandering around town all night. And to top it off, I have this strange feeling that I'm being watched. I looked down at the ring on my finger, curious to see if the pattern thus far held true. Surely enough, as it had done all morning, every time I felt like I was being watched, the ring started to glow. Ugh. Finding out that I have fat fingers was one thing, but this random glowing could be really problematic. Sensei is definitely going to notice, and worse, it's on my ring finger. If he calls Papa, then. Despite my melancholy, I quickly turned around as I felt the odd sensation once more. This is getting really weird. Is sleep deprivation causing my mind to play tricks on me? I didn't want to consider it, but maybe I should skip class and take a nap. Papa won't like it, assuming he finds out, but I'll only get in more trouble if I fall asleep in class. Besides, this level of paranoia can't be healthy. As Azir completed the final leg of her morning journey, her stalker emerged from the shadows. Kuh, so close, and yet I still can't get my hands on it. But I'll have plenty of opportunities from here on out. Once the human girl goes to that child containment center they call school, she won't be able to escape. And once I get my hands on that ring, The universe will never be the same again. After wandering around the school a while, I eventually located an empty classroom. It appeared to be a classroom reserved for club activities of some sort, or perhaps simply due for cleaning, as the desks had all been removed. Interesting. I'm just sorry about that. To adjust it a bit. Desks had all been removed. Whatever the case, I would soon put the empty space to good use. Now this is more like it. Resting on the floor, lapping up the sun's rays, I kind of feel like a cat. From a bride to a cat. A bride wearing cat ears instead of a wedding veil? Drinking milk instead of champagne? That sounds much better to me. Yes, meow, I do, meow. Now take me back home, meow. I need to cough up a fur ball. The fuck? Once I actually heard myself say that aloud, a furious blush came over my face. That was definitely the sleep deprivation talking. Deprivation. Whatever you call it. Without further delay, bright red from ear to ear, I removed my glasses and put my head on the ground. And then shit happens. As I lay in the warm sun, not at all deterred by the hard surface beneath me, I slept both long and well. My fatigue from last night vanished without a trace, replaced by the energy and enthusiasm I so desperately needed. Man, I needed that. There's nothing a good night's rest can't cure, or a good day's rest in this case. I should do this more often. Filled with such carefree thoughts, I slowly adjusted to the light surrounding me. But no sooner had I done so than reality hit me. Oh no, how long was I asleep? It's already starting to get dark outside. I must have slept the whole day away. This is bad. I can't believe it's already dark outside. Just how late is it? Oh, it's not that late. It just looks that way because my spaceship is blocking out most of the sun's rays. Oh, now, why would you give that away? I see, that explains it. Eh? Your spaceship? What the heck are you talking about? Or in other words, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm talking about my spaceship. That's what you humans called them, right? I'm not getting the terminology wrong? No, I suppose you... Wait a second. I put on my glasses, which I had taken off before sleeping, and looked at the person in front of me with far more clarity. This woman, she seems familiar. Have we met before? You don't look like a student. I don't think I've ever had you as a teacher. The stranger looked at me skeptically, as though doubting my inability to remember her. Earthling, we met only last night. Is the memory of a human girl truly so awful? I had heard that the fish of gold would forget every few seconds, but I believe primates do enjoy a more fortuitous memory capacity. If I have been misinformed, then I must correct our records post haste. Huh? What the heck is this woman talking about? Did she escape from a mental asylum thinking she was still in high school? Anyway, forget about that. I'm here to make you an offer. An offer? From a crazy person? I don't think so. But if I reject her outright, she might get violent, so I can at least play along. That's right, Earthling. The something is very important to me, and I must have it back at any cost. Unfortunately, you seem to have already something with it, so I've been put in a difficult situation. The what? Oh, I'm sorry. My humanese isn't perfect yet. Yes, it's the second girl that is from outer space, aka the alien waifu of the sort. Humanese? I suppose a rough translation of that artifact around your finger would be the ring of binding. Now that you've already bonded with it, my role here has become rather complicated. Even after the woman in front of me finished explaining, I still didn't understand. Yeah, I don't even understand either. I don't even know what the hell's going on with this reading. Sorry, but I don't get it. Ring of binding? It's bonded with me? What does that mean? And who the heck calls this language humanese? Humanese. I didn't know that's a language. Just who are you exactly? Oh, now that you mention it, it seems I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sienna, and I am the Queen of Mars. Oh my, how can you be the Queen of Mars? The Queen of Mars? Yes, have you heard of me? No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm familiar with Mars, but you are? You, a mere Earthling, are aware of the situation on Mars? I truly misjudged you. It seems you are more capable than I thought, you pesky foreigner. Hey, what did you call me? A pesky foreigner. That is the term for someone of a different birth planet, correct? That is what Earthlings have been calling me ever since I arrived here. I'm no longer sure if this woman is crazy or just stupid. Maybe both. Anyway, enough of that. What were you saying about an offer? Oh, that's right. How forgetful of me. The reason I came to you this day was to ask for your finger. You want my finger? Precisely. Wait, where are you going? Anywhere but there. Anywhere but here. Huh, huh. After running the entire way home, I arrived in record time despite leaving later than usual. I ran quickly, taking every shortcut I knew, and intermittently checked behind me for my insane pursuer. I knew no good could come from this stupid ring. Why did I have to try on that crazy lady's jewelry? I don't even like that stuff. Yeah, it's called a wedding ring of the sort. The ring of binding, it might as well be a wedding ring. I tried to calm down as I entered my house. Despite the insanity awaiting me when I woke up, I still felt fairly refreshed after sleeping for so long, so it wasn't difficult to restore my mood. Forget about the crazy lady, she's gone now, and I'm sure the police will capture her sooner or later. Besides, at this point in time, I have bigger things to worry about. I peered into the living room, immediately setting my sights on my father. Albeit wait for him to return home before me. It did happen from time to time. He's just standing there, not moving an inch. He must be waiting for me. I sighed heavily, already disheartened by the conversation which no doubt awaited me. Oh well, let's get this over with. Good afternoon, Papa. Boy, you sure got home early today. No worries, as always. Did you get off early today because you've been working so hard lately? Or maybe you just couldn't wait to see your darling daughter, hmm? No words. Uh-oh, he's really mad. When my father's truly furious, he doesn't yell or scream. He becomes dead quiet and wanders around like a ghost, ready to snap at any minute. Well, I guess I'll get started on dinner then. I started to walk towards the kitchen, desperate to escape my father's fury. Ah, don't bother with my portion. I already ate. That's okay, just dinner for two then. No problem. Emerging from behind my father was Sienna, the crazy lady I had tried so hard to escape from. How did you? When did you? Hmm? I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Is that an idiom? I took a deep breath and tried again. How did you get here before me? And why are you here? Oh, I see. You're wondering how I arrived before you, even though you left first? I'm sorry to say this, but your athletic ability is no match for my something something. Um, my transporter, if you will. It converts most forms of matter into light, then. Forget about that. Why are you here? Oh my god. This alien waifu get fucking teleported. Why the fuck are you here? Oh, yes, your second question. My apologies. I didn't mean to alarm you, but as you suddenly ran away during our earlier conversation, I thought it might be more convenient for you if we continued talking here. I stared at Sienna blankly, unable to see any hint of malice or deceit. If she knows both where I live and what school I attend, then escaping from Sienna by normal means may be impossible. But if I had the help of an ace detective on my side, I turned to face my father, who was still unmoving. As I walked in front of him, however, I noticed that something was amiss. Gasp, gasp. My father continued to open his mouth lightly, widely, breathe in deeply, then close his mouth and exhale through his nose. His eyes remained wide open, unblinking, as though he was shocked by something directly in front of him. What's wrong? Oh, right. The birth giver's counterpart responsible for your creation. Do not worry. I will return him to normal once we are finished here. Return him to normal? What have you done to my father? Do not fret, child. He is unharmed. I simply swapped his consciousness. Gee, what the fuck? I simply swapped his consciousness with that of a fish of gold. I looked towards the fish tank in our living room. You swapped his brain with the brain of a goldfish? Swapped their brains? No, no, don't be silly. I simply swapped his consciousness with that of the fish. Is there a difference? Of course there is. All I've done is temporarily move your father's thoughts into the brain of the goldfish and vice versa. This way we can talk freely, and your father will forget everything he hears. That's that's amazing. You flatter me, Earthling, but our technology is no more advanced than yours. I don't know if we'll ever manage to transfer entire living creatures into waves capable of being replicated. Sienna looked towards the television as she spoke. She thinks that the people she's seen on TV are moving around as formless signals? Her technology may be amazing, but this woman is clueless about Earth. Anyway, about your finger. Uh-oh. I thought that if I couldn't run away, I could at least rely on my father to protect me. But in this current state, Papa's just gasp. He's just trying so hard to breathe for air because he has the consciousness of a fish. And I bet that fish over there was her dad is just like screaming at her or something. I don't know how. Screaming underwater. There has to be some way out of this. Maybe she doesn't want my finger after all. Maybe Sienna got the word wrong. I had to make sure. Miss Sienna. Just call me Sienna. Okay then, Sienna. Why do you want my finger exactly? What possible use could you have for a human finger? That's a silly question. You humans came up with the ritual requiring the finger after all. Like hell we did. I don't care what barbaric civilizations this woman has visited before. Around here, we don't chop off fingers. Am I mistaken? Am I mistaken? For humans, the bonding ritual requires a ring, a finger, and two humanoid entities, correct? So the protocol is to ask for the other entity's finger, yes? The human bonding ritual. Wait a minute, she couldn't mean... Are you talking about marriage? Yep, jumping straight to the conclusion. Ain't that something? Yes, that is it. Something, or as Earthlings call it, marriage. Ah, so that's it. Phew, I was really worried there for a minute. I thought Sienna wanted to cut off my finger, like in some bizarre cult ritual. But she really wanted to ask for my hand, not my finger. Eh? You want to marry me? Yes. Something marriage. We must become one. See, I fucking figured. This is a couple to be true. Ain't this something? Lesbian marriage. We must become one. But why? Why would you want to marry me? We've only just met. Isn't this too sudden? Besides, we're of two different species. Why would you suddenly propose to me? I proposed? You are mistaken, Earthling. You are the one who proposed to me. Alright, because, Azir put on the ring. She was look. Oh my goodness. I did? No, I think I would remember doing that. What are you saying? The proof of your proposal is right there. Sienna pointed to the ring on my finger. That ring rightfully belongs to the king of Mars. As the ruling queen, the one who wears that ring is destined to become my husband. You put on that ring, and it bound itself to you. That is proof that you are fit to be my other. Her other? The ruling queen, and her husband, the king. Wait a minute, how could we even get married? I'm a girl, I can't possibly become a king. Now, although the closest translation I can think of for something is king, my partner couldn't be male. My partner needn't be male, or even Martian for that matter. The ring has chosen you, and that's what matters. Unbelievable. A grown woman is proposing to me because a ring told her to? What's more, she doesn't seem to care that we're both girls. No, wait, that isn't the problem here. There's no way I could go along with something this ridiculous. 2 days ago, we never even met. Now she wants me to be the king of Mars? But what about air and the food? Even if I went with you, I wouldn't survive a day on Mars, would I? Don't underestimate yourself. The king of Mars, as chosen by the ring, is far more capable than you think. As one wearing the ring, such trifling matters won't affect you in the least. I put on a ring, and just like that, I'm already the king of Mars? Well, now you can breathe in space. That's all that matters. This is too much. Are you really that opposed to marrying me? I can't force you to bond against your will. No, it's not that. It's just, why do you even want to bond with me? Can't you just forget about all of this? She has no words. I wish it were that simple. Many Earth centuries ago, we Martians were at war with the Mercurians, residents of Mercury. We fought for countless years, decimating all visible life on both of our planets and forcing one another into our spaceships. But as the war dragged on, both sides harbored an increasing desire for peace, desperate to return to and rebuild our once beautiful planets. It was then that we reached a truce, a ceasefire agreement bound by a sacred ritual. The kind of Mercury married the Queen of Mars, and the two were bound together by a powerful relic, a ring forged from rare materials and imbued with untold power. For many years, neither race bore any ill will towards the other. The original reason for the war was long forgotten, and we all lived in peace together. It was a wonderful, decadent period of time, one we all wished would last forever. But even then, there remained some who craved war. A few militants reared their heads now and then, seeking to disrupt the peace we had all worked so hard to obtain. And one day, following the assassination for the kind of Mercury, they succeeded. They stole his ring and launched it into the cosmos, desperate to prevent another bonding from ever occurring. Worse, as per their plan, mistrust over the assassination broke out, and our races faced off against one another once more. So you see, that is why I need that ring. If I do not bond with the wearer of that ring, it's only a matter of time before our planets become barren wastelands once more. I listened closely to Cyana's story, absorbing as much information as I could retain. I found it hard to believe that the ring on my finger, so ordinary in appearance, size, and weight, could be so important. Well, there you go. You, it is fate to be sealed. Even so, as Cyana finished talking, one question bothered me more than any other. But by why me? The ritual was just a gesture, right? Isn't the important part that the one you marry is from Mercury? No, that is incorrect. I apologize for using misleading terminology, but marriage is the closest thing you humans have to something, our bonding ritual. You see, unlike marriage, something causes both parties to undergo a change. Two entities form an unbreakable bond, one which binds their very lives together such that the death of one would mean the death of the other. In return for the life bond, one party increases their strength proportionally to the binding relic. If I, the Queen, were to attain the power of this ring, I could unite Mars and Mercury forevermore. Cyana spoke of enough power to rule two planets, but even then, She didn't appear to be happy in the slightest. The happy, naive, forceful woman I had met only yesterday was gone, replaced by a reluctant ruler. Poor Sienna. I never would imagine she had it so tough. Either she gets married to whoever the ring chooses for her, or her home planet descends into war. If I were in their shoes, I don't know what I'd do. So it doesn't matter if your partner isn't from Mercury? Not at all. As the offspring of the late Queen and King, I am half Martian, half Mercurian. My very existence is enough to unite both planets. All I need now is power, the power of the ring. This ring, the ring I selfishly, unknowingly bound to my own body. If it weren't for my curiosity, Sienna would have nothing to worry about. She'd have the ring, free to choose her own path, and I'd be one the wiser. And I'd be none the wiser. But now, I understand that this is a big decision. Something is not an act to be taken lightly. Nonetheless, I must ask that you expedite your decision. I will give you 1 Earth day to consider my proposal. 1 day, huh? Well, we are 46 minutes in, so I'll just end it from here. Let's see. Yeah, might as well save. Anyway, next part. Let's see what happens next. Will the two get married, or will Azir turn down the request? Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.